Hey, everybody, and welcome to the True Crime Squad. This is Katie Weaver. I'm here with my sister, co host, and partner in crime, Christy Brower. Hello.
Hello. Hey, everybody.
How's it going?
It is good. It's sort of weird to be doing one of our sort of standard episodes. I kind of forgot how, but it's good.
I know. Me too today. I was thinking, my gosh, I need to kind of get back to, to what we do. Besides Lori Vallow, of course.
Right?
This is not a Lori Vallow episode, except for that we can't really pass up an opportunity to share this ish right here.
Friends.
What? Lori's
I
mugshot
mean,
from Madison County. Ay, ay, ay.
the rot is coming through her pores at this point.
My God, isn't it?
Also, what is with these
something.
braids? Maybe that's how she's getting her hair wavy. Just braiding
That's what
like
somebody in our group said. I think maybe they're right. Look at that. Maybe she
All I
did
gotta say
abandon
is
tampon hair.
she looks like she has aged like 20 years
Yeah.
from when this started, when they were in Kauai to now. It's stunning.
Well, if you don't keep that Botox up,
I guess so.
apparently this is,
I don't know.
or you're just evil as hell,
Right. If you look at my forehead, I get Botox every 3 months for migraines, but you see how my forehead does not wrinkle?
Yeah.
That's Botox for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mine does.
You get tremendous. Sometimes I can't even raise my eyebrows. Like I try to raise my eyebrows and they don't even go up. So
Wow.
I can see how, being without it for a while, you start to get the wrinkles again. But man, she looks bad.
She looks awful. Yeah. Well, they wasted no time. So, and I will admit, this was a detail we got wrong. We were told she would not be coming back to Madison.
Right.
And they immediately brought her back to Madison, RIP Madison Jail. We know you didn't want her.
Right.
But here you are for the next few months. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. They were very, very, very unpleased to have to deal with her again.
I did drive past the jail last night and honk and flip her off, as one
good
would.
job.
Was her Mother's Day gift from us. But now that she's back, right, pretty much, yeah.
Well, the good thing about that is that we might be able to tell you a little bit from time to time.
Yeah, we'll be able to get a little more info. Yeah, about what's up. What we do know is that she's on suicide watch and that she will be this entire time. Because she's not getting out of this that easy. Right. Sorry, Lori. You're staying. Yeah.
I have a cat. Ow! God!
We'll have a little more to say about that on Wednesday night case updates. But a week or two ago, one of our listeners said, you guys are going to have to do a whole bunch of episodes that are more of your funny crime stuff just to, try to help us all recover from this. So we thought that would be a great way to kind of ease back into some regular episodes. Right. So this is a true crime roundup. We are wound up. It's a true crime roundup episode. And we're going to do nothing but some wild stuff.
Yeah. Hang on to your butts. You're going to need to.
We've got some good. I have one case that's not funny. It's just wow. But the rest of it, good Lord. This country be wild, and that's what I have to say. So, Christy, why don't you kick us off with some creepy crime?
Oh, I will. Squad, what's your biggest fear when staying in a hotel room alone?
Ooh, alone. A dead hooker under the bed.
Ooh, yeah, okay. That's always my biggest fear.
I think we saw this in a movie or something because
right?
that's
We've
always
been
the
afraid
thing.
of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cut to this guy.
Oh boy. This already seems like it's going downhill.
It is. It's going to get worse. So this guy was a hotel manager. This was in Nashville, Tennessee. And this just happened a few days ago. And about 5 o'clock in the morning, a man staying in the hotel woke up to this dude sucking on his toes.
Oh,
I mean,
what?
new hotel fear unlocked.
What?
I know. How
Why?
how can this be even real? But it is exactly what happened.
So it's his
So
thing.
this guy is
Oh,
David Neal. He's 52. He's been charged with aggravated burglary and assault. I believe that the attorneys for the victim are trying to get this to be sexual assault.
I
So,
can see that.
right.
Yeah.
Apparently, Neil
There's an
pre
assault happening in your office currently as
there
well
is.
with a
Yes, this
cat.
cat is making me hold her. She's been scratching me. So he made a key card to go into this guest room about 5 o'clock in the morning.
Mhm.
This was on yeah. So he um he said that he smelled smoke in the guest is in this guest's room.
What?
Were his toes on fire, or I mean, get real. Apparently, the victim had realized that this guy had been in his room the day before because he was having a problem with his TV and he came in to help with it. So apparently, at that time, this gross dude got real attracted to that guy's toes or something. Um,
I have so many thoughts and questions, but first of all,
right.
a man's feet?
I know.
What?
Stranger feet?
Ooh,
Yikes. Yeah, I know.
or
It's
any feet,
it
really,
right.
but
Yes, I know. But I know some people that's a thing. Apparently, initially the victim told hotel security,
mhm.
but they didn't really seem to take it too seriously.
What? Has this happened before?
So, right? That's what I want to know. And there's not a lot of background on old David Neal, but I'm going to bet there's probably some history. So then, of course, the
Y
victim had to call the
Surely you don't
police.
start that at 52.
Right?
You gotta
Oh,
be creepy before that.
well, and he's a hotel manager, so he's got access to everybody's rooms.
Yeah.
Yikes. So he has been
Hmm.
arrested and charged. The victim was an Air Force veteran, uh, and he was on a business trip in Nashville. He did cut his trip short and went home right after that. Uh,
Feeling different? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, right. Oh, yikes. He
What?
said that the hotel had not apologized or responded to them at all. They had requests for surveillance video and data, like door lock data and stuff, and they were having trouble getting that.
Oh, please
Um,
let this be a civil case and let it be televised.
right?
Please. Please.
So the victim's law firm says that he has suffered from severe and permanent emotional distress,
Oh,
embarrassment,
yeah.
past and future medical expenses, counseling, I guess, and a loss of earning capacity, and is seeking damages. And so this, yes, there is a lawsuit. There's
Oh.
a criminal case here and a civil one, and they're seeking damages in the lawsuit.
Well, I
They're seeking punitive damages from Hilton
Mhm.
to punish and deter the hotel chain from tolerating this kind of conduct.
That seems legit, yes. I
Yeah,
mean, the fact that he told hotel security and they weren't all that concerned about it. And I mean,
right.
I'm laughing about this because it's wild, but I do have
It
compassion
is
for the
also
victim. It is
horrifying.
very weird. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it is. The victim said he just sort of went into fact finding mode when he woke up to this dude sucking on his toes. He said, "Who are you? Why are you in my room? What are you doing here?" And then
I'm
he,
surprised he didn't kick him smack in the face.
right? He said he could see that he was wearing a uniform and he had his name tag on.
Of course he did.
So we
Yeah.
have a lot of questions about who commit this crime. We have many questions about why and gross and what, but those will be answered at a later date. But David Neal has been charged and the hotel is being sued. So we hope for justice for this victim. And we
Mhm.
hope that David Neal needs treatment for a fungal infection and spend some time in jail because this is gross
Both.
and
Yes.
very unsettling.
Very weird. Yes. Whew.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take the mic back over for a little WTF news.
All right.
There was an incident recently in Oklahoma where some officers got a call out because there was someone screaming for help. And they went to help, being the good cops they are. They went to help and really ran into a really unsettling situation. And so I want to tell you a little bit about what happened. They were heading out to help. There was someone screaming for help. A neighbor heard it. They didn't know where it
Right.
was coming from, but they could hear someone crying out for help. So they responded. They could hear someone crying out for help. They were running along. When they found the person that was screaming out for help, everything changed in the blink of an eye. I'm going to share the actual webcam or vest cam footage with you so that you can see exactly what happened.
I think it's a person. That's a person. Is it goat? Uh, oh, it is.
Well, that's the best case scenario because no one was hurt, not even the goat.
His feelings actually were quite hurt. He had
Were
been
they?
separated from his BFF.
Oh,
And he
no.
was really unhappy about it, and he was yelling for help. And some good Samaritan called the cops.
Oh, my God. That's funny.
You could
The
really
cop.
hear him.
It's a
Help!
goat? It's a
Help!
goat?
Shit, it's a goat.
Oh, funny.
I'm sure as a police officer running into a situation like that and the crying is intensifying and you're running towards it, you don't know what you're coming into. Maybe something really
No.
horrible has happened, or maybe someone's being held without their will, or I mean, who knows? They get up there and it's a goat yelling for help. The sad part is
Oh,
him did need help.
yeah. Poor
Isn't
goat.
that the damnedest thing you've ever seen?
Oh, my hell. That's hilarious. That poor officer trucking along. He's getting that's a person. That sounds like a person. He's getting faster and faster and faster. It's a freaking goat.
Right?
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh gosh. So I had seen this article in a few different places, and one of them I had read some of the comments, and a lady said that she had just moved into a condo, like side by side condos, and there
Hmm.
was someone next door screaming for help, and she called the police, and it turned out it was their bird,
Oh, no.
and that this bird does that when they go to work. And she said it is
Oh,
quite unsettling to listen to their bird scream for help all day.
I bet. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
But hey, everyone's okay. And that's
Yes.
nice. You don't often
Right.
get that when someone calls the police because someone's screaming for help.
Right. This is a true crime win if I've ever seen one.
Yes, it is.
Well, I'm going to kick the mic back over to you for some weird crime.
Yes. Well, friends, Edward Scissorhands has struck.
What?
I know none of us would have expected this to happen, but it
No.
has in fact happened in Texas. So, in a town in Texas, Fort Worth, There is a mystery man who has been dubbed Edward Scissorhands. There's no picture because no one knows who he is, but he's
Yikes.
wandering around at night cutting branches off other people's trees.
What?
Yeah,
You
he's
can come
just
over here.
right. I've got a couple trees that need trimmed.
Mm-hmm.
No, he just kind of wanders along streets. Sometimes he just cuts a little bit off. Other times he cuts big old branches off and gives their trees a buzz cut.
Why?
This
What?
kills me. This is so Texas. It's also so Idaho.
Mm.
One of the neighbors said sometimes he'll take just a little bit, but then in other people's trees, he'll take massive gobs
Gobs. Yep.
of tree limbs.
Gobs of
Uh,
limbs.
This is happening around 3 o'clock in the morning, and he usually has an unleashed dog with him. There's some surveillance
Wait, does
video
he
of
take the
him.
branches or does he just
No,
leave them on the ground?
he leaves them on the ground. He just leaves them there,
He's just being a dick, just
just
hacking
cutting
up
up
people's.
people's.
Oh my gosh.
One guy said, I was talking to my wife Emily, and I was like, we had a storm last night because they had a bunch of downed limbs in front of their house, and she was like, "Oh no, that's Edward Scissorhands."
What? it's just expected now.
It's kind of a known thing. There's some surveillance video of him, but it's at night, and no one recognizes this person, and so all of the neighbors are annoyed. They just really want him to stop. That's all. One of the
That'd be
neighbors really
neat.
wants him
Yeah.
to cut it out. I don't know if you should use that language around this guy because you might take it a little bit literal. But this was back in
Full
October
house
of
thing to cut it
2022.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, cut it out. Stop cutting other people's trees. What a weird, like 3 o'clock in the morning, you get drunk and go amateur arborist on the neighborhood. Like, what does this even
Or he's
mean?
just liking that everybody's talking about him, so he's just
I
keeping it up.
guess,
Maybe
but
he did
yeah,
it the first time, just maybe he was drunk or being I don't know what, and then now it's like it's become a thing, so he has to keep it up.
I guess so. Or he just feels very passionately about the care and maintenance of trees,
Mhm.
except it's so random. I have no idea. But it is a rather weird and somewhat victimless crime that is going
I mean,
on in
not
Fort
for the
Worth,
trees. Yeah,
right?
our mother did not believe in cutting trees down or
Mhm.
even trimming them. She loved her trees, and I love
Yes.
mine too, but she loved her trees, and you did not mess with her trees.
Mm-mm.
There were many of arguments over the years between her and our dad over him wanting to cut down a tree or because they had a lot of trees on their property or trim some back, and that was a cardinal sin.
It was a hard no. Yeah,
That
she
dude
would
came
have been
past her
real pissed with
house
this guy.
cutting at her trees, and he would be needing a goat to call 911 for him.
Yes, he would. Well, we hope things have gotten better in Fort Worth. I couldn't find any updates on this, but all we know is Edward Scissorhands has been at work.
He's back.
Mhm.
Well, okay then. Well, I'm going to take the mic back over for a little bit of creepy crime.
All right.
In Michigan, and this is creepy. This is the one that's really not funny, but it's pretty wow. This kid deserves some credit. A boy was out back in their home, in their yard, and he noticed a 17-year-old kid come out of the woodwork, out of somewhere, and grab his little sister, his 8-year-old little sister, and try to kidnap her, try to wrestle her
Oh,
out of the yard. It was
yikes.
terrifying. Well, he just so happened to have his handy dandy slingshot in hand. And I'm guessing this kid has practiced because have you ever shot a slingshot?
Not very accurate.
He knew what was up. So he pelts this kid with rocks and stuff. I don't know what he had with stuff from his slingshot. I'm going to say rocks because that feels good.
Right.
He not to the
Boulders. Maybe it
apprehension,
was
but
boulders.
yeah, maybe so, or maybe it was like the buckshot things. I don't know,
Mhm.
but he beat the shit out of him with his slingshot. So the kid lets the little sister go and runs off. And pretty soon, of course, the police are called and there's a little hunt for this kid, and they find him hiding out in a local convenience store with injuries consistent with being attacked with a slingshot.
Well, that kid is a fucking hero.
Right? This is a 13-year-old. He took down the 17-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah. Saved his little sister. When the police interviewed this kid, he admitted that he wanted to put a horrible beating on someone. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
And so he just took a little girl to.
He wanted to.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's
Were it
awful.
not for her quick thinking brother and his handy dandy slingshot, he probably would have.
Yikes.
But he went to town with the slingshot and beat the crap out of this kid. So good on him.
Good on him.
Injuries consistent with being attacked with a slingshot.
So not
I don't
only
even-
did he save his sister, but he also identified the perp.
He did.
Super
He did
impressed.
actually. Not only with the injuries, but also he was able to tell the police, yeah, this is the guy. So hopefully he thinks twice before he does something like that again, and hopefully he catches a pretty good charge that deters this from happening ever again. And of
Yeah.
course, we hope that the little girl in question is okay, and
Right.
that her brother is too. What a hero!
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Note to self: keep a slingshot in your pocket at all times.
and figure out how to use it.
Yeah.
And also be strong enough. I remember as kids having slingshots or messing around with somebody else's and not being strong enough to pull the thing to,
Yeah, to
you know.
really make it go anywhere.
Yeah, so I'm impressed in every single way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Me
good
too.
on him.
Yeah.
But that kid didn't see it coming.
I bet not.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to kick the mic back over to you for some WTF crime.
Oh, yes. Some of my most favorite dumb criminal stories are bank robbery stories because I will tell you, there are some dumb bank robbers in the world.
Mhm.
Let me introduce you to one.
Oh, gosh.
Which
Oh, no.
Yeah. Already, you know we're in for something based on that mugshot.
This is going to be bonkers. I already know.
Yeah. So this genius, well, let's just do this. If his name is Michael Conley Lloyd, and he has pled guilty to bank robbery in federal court to prove a point
Oh.
to his girlfriend.
What would that point be?
I'm not sure. Let me tell you this. If you were going to, write one of those notes to the bank, what would you write it on, do you suppose?
Well, I think it's standard to cut letters out of magazines.
What if all you had handy was a pink highlighter and your own birth certificate?
Oh, my God.
Because that's what this genius did. He wrote his demand letter in pink highlighter on the back of his own birth certificate. Now, what? Like, I just had to get my birth certificate from the state because I've never seen my birth certificate my entire life. And I had to get it so I could get a star card. But I certainly don't just have my birth certificate laying about my house.
You don't?
Shockingly, no, it's in a drawer kept safe so I don't lose it. So
You don't use it
apparently,
as scratch paper?
I
mean-
generally do not use it as scratch paper. No. The other thing that I would consider not doing if I was going to rob a bank is doing it while I had an ankle monitor on, out on conditional release from another crime. These are all things that, they might get you caught. So
back to that point he wanted to prove.
yes, I've yet to find what the point was.
I mean, judging by the picture, there were drugs on board.
Right.
I-
So
I-
apparently he and his
those aren't
girlfriend got in an
normalized.
argument, and he
Mhm.
said he was going to rob a bank to prove a point. I don't know that he could, that he should, that he wasn't a dumb criminal.
Or how fast he could get arrested. Maybe it was actually a bet.
Also, the vehicle that he drove to the robbery, he stole from his roommate. Because, I mean, you might as well just commit all the crimes at once, right? And the demand note said something like, "Be quiet until I leave and give me all the money."
All the money.
All the money.
Just
He
all of
He got away with a whopping $754.
it. Oh, no.
So then he saw some cops headed to the bank as he was driving away in the stolen vehicle. So he threw the money and his birth certificate out the window of the
What?
as you do. I don't know. Then he texted his roommate and said her truck was stolen and that she should probably listen to the police scanner. And then he called his girlfriend to tell her what he'd done, to prove that point.
In your face. Point proven.
Right? Yeah.
What the hell?
So, yeah, they tracked him down pretty quickly because the roommate, they called the police and,
Sure.
all that stuff. And then, of course, they contacted the tracking company of his ankle monitor, which proved where he was at the time. And
Mhm.
he has now pled guilty and is going to be doing some prison time to prove his point, which is the only way to rob a bank is with a note written in pink highlighter on the back of your own birth certificate in a stolen vehicle with an ankle monitor on. And when you freak out that the cops might catch you, you just throw the money and your birth certificate out the window of the car.
Point proven.
Point proven, I guess.
Mhm. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Well, for our last segment, I'm going to take the mic back from you to report on a little more weird crime.
Oh, there's a lot.
Some unlikely heroes helped to capture a man who had been in a high speed chase with the police in Michigan. Oh, North Carolina. Sorry, North Carolina. These guys right here. This is a herd of cows.
Yes, it is.
So I don't think I can tell the story better than the town itself. So from their Facebook page, this is a news release on May 9th, 2023. A suspect later identified as Joshua Russell Minton. They really no bull.
Putting it all out there. No
Right?
bull.
They really steered the police correctly.
They did.
I could do this all day. I won't. I promise. I probably will. Joshua Russell Minton, age 34, of Millers Creek, North Carolina, fled from Boone police officers during a traffic stop. The suspect led Boone police and deputies of the Watauga Sheriff's Office in a chase. The suspect abandoned his vehicle in the area of U.S. Highway 421 and U.S. Highway 221 in Deep Gap and fled into an undeveloped area. Agricultural. Due to the suspect's fast and reckless driving, our officers were not close enough to see exactly where the suspect ran. As officers began to search the area, good Lord, I have lost my spot. I'm so sorry. As officers began to search the area, they received some unexpected but welcome assistance from some local cows. Apparently, cows do not want suspected criminals loitering in their pasture. Whoever wrote this needs a raise.
Yeah.
And quickly assisted our officers in leading them directly to where the suspect was hiding. The cows communicated with the officers as best they could. I don't know if they wrote signs or kind of like that eat more chicken campaign or
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know. And finally, just had the officers follow them to the suspect's location. We are thanking our officers and deputies for putting themselves in harm's way. Obviously, we want to express our gratitude to the cows for their assistance. This opens up all kinds of questions as to the bovine's role in crime fighting, as it should. Honestly, it's something we have not considered before now. And why is that, really? As we examine the obvious next steps of incorporating a bovine tracking unit into our department's law enforcement capabilities, there are many factors we will have to consider. How adaptable are cows to a variety of police work, or can they just find hiding suspects?
Mm.
Are cows more cost effective than canine dogs? How will we transport cows to the scene? And is this compatible with the town's sustainability goals in terms of types of vehicles needed? And obviously, there are methane issues.
True.
Cost of training, vet care, ballistic vests.
Oh, could you imagine cows in ballistic vests? Oh,
But they would have to be. We want to protect our bovine friends
well, of
out
course.
doing the good work. We at the Boone Police Department are always looking for better ways to serve our community. We may be a small town, but we are a progressive town, forward thinking. For rural law enforcement, we want to be the tip of the spear. Mr. Mitten was charged with multiple charges to include one count of felony flee, elude arrest with motor vehicle, driving with license revoked, disorderly conduct. Mr. Mitten was taken into a magistrate, and isn't it funny that his last name is Mitten?
Yeah.
Was taken before a magistrate and received a $20,000 secured bond with a court date scheduled. See local media for the real press release. I like
I'm
this one.
wondering why he didn't get charged with disturbing the cow's peace.
Indeed. My thought too. Very rude. He's lucky they didn't stomp him into a puddle because clearly they didn't want him there. But they communicated with the officers as only cows can, apparently. And
Right? Criminals take note.
another article said that there
Oh,
was one pasture that the cows were not just doing cow things. They weren't just chewing on grass and hanging out. They were acting weird and kind of like packing and acting different than cows in the other pastures. And that's what made them think maybe he's over there. So they headed over there, and the cows were basically like, well, it's a good thing you're finally here, and just
he's
walked
over
right.
there. Oh, I love that so much.
So I'm sorry, Mr. Mitten, but your day has been ruined officially by a herd of cows.
Right?
Love it. Well, that's what we've got. We will be back tomorrow with another episode. More
Mhm.
back to our more regular stuff. We'll be back on Wednesday night for case updates. That's when our normal live is at 7 p.m. Mountain.
Mhm.
Is some stuff happening in the Vallow Daybell
Debacle, shit
situation?
show,
Shit show.
belligerent herd circus. We've called it a
Yes.
lot of names.
Yeah. I'm still a fan of the belligerent turd circus. Yeah.
It's true.
So we'll be back with those things on Wednesday night for sure, but we'll be back tomorrow with another regular episode. So,
Mhm.
to all of our old and new listeners, near and far, thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, follow if you haven't already. We
Mhm.
appreciate you very much. Please go do something good for yourselves. Obviously, go have a cookie. You know you deserve it. And thanks all of you who sent us notes telling us to go have a cookie. We appreciate you so much.
Mhm.
Uh, we're finally off the hamster wheel, I think, at least for a little while. We'll see.
Mhm.
I don't know. There are some cases coming up. Holy
Yes,
moly.
there are.
And tomorrow, Tuesday, are closing arguments in the West trial. So we're going to get
Mm.
all over that on
Yes, we
Tuesday.
will.
Yeah. Well, you know it. This has been yet another production of the True Crime Squad. Take care.
Bye, everybody.